Welcome to this Neurobranch YouTube video. In this video we're going to talk about the conversations I've had face-to-face with some people after they've had their formal diagnosis, where it basically goes along the lines of, I'm autistic, now what? And that can be an interesting position to be in. I believe this video can help alleviate some of the strain or concerns about that. Firstly, congratulations, you've got a formal diagnosis. That in itself can be a milestone and have a great well-being benefit. When it comes to services and support, I think one of the best places to start is by looking at your friends and family. Having the formal diagnosis can help them understand how best to support you, because at least with my diagnosis, there's a breakdown of the expectations or the skills I have or don't have, as the case may be. At which point they can go, oh, I need to do this to make communication more effective, or oh, if I get this particular brand of product, it doesn't have the same sensory issues, it will cause the individual. And furthermore, now with a formal diagnosis, you may find it easier to not need to mask anymore, because you can then go, oh, I've got a disability and I don't want to have to mask the whole time, because masking can be very draining, and there will be a video about masking later on, and I will link it either in the description or put it into a video card at this point. Reducing the amount of energy it takes to try and fit in then makes it easier for individuals to deal with day-to-day life, particularly when it comes to unexpected tasks or situations. For me, for example, it's people dropping by at my work without an appointment. And while that is socially very pleasant, I'm generally pleased to see them, it really interrupts my tasks, and at which point I have to work out where I have to make up the time. When it comes to family specifically, it can be giving them the understanding and go, oh, I need to do these things in a different way, so that it's less strain on my sibling, family member, and similarly to friends. Also, what can happen is the fact that because you are no longer masking, as a result of having or feeling more comfortable that the fact you've got a disability, people may go, oh, your autism's got worse now you've got a formal diagnosis. And again, this is a weird reaction in itself, partly because they expect you to still perform or behave how you did beforehand. Well, actually, no, you now feel comfortable asking for help, and part of that help is accepting the removing of the mask and not necessarily fitting in as well. Being able to just be yourself can be very problematic for autistic people, particularly if you have particular stims, or if you have sensory behaviours which mean you have to try to look after yourself in manners that seem very bizarre to individuals. So actually one of the first things in regards to support is actually just being allowed to be autistic in a space and feeling safe and comfortable to do so. That can be tricky, particularly if individuals are expecting you to behave a particular way or a certain way, and you have been doing so far, but it's very draining. This, again, is particularly problematic with British culture, where there's an expectation to fulfil certain social contracts or structures, but if you've just been making it up as you go along, kind of like me, you're going to encounter problems. And again, having the formal diagnosis is a means to ask for help. To some extent, it would be nice if you didn't need to have the formal diagnosis. But I believe this is down to the extra effort people seem to perceive they need to do in regards to achieve this. And so it needs to be justified of why should I be working more. Again, I find it strange, particularly when you compare it to other disabilities. For example, if you were blind, it would be socially unacceptable to punish a blind individual for bumping into something. Or if you gave them a book and it wasn't in Braille, it would not be expected for that to enable effective communication. But if you're autistic, and because there is no visual cue behind that, but also when you look at the spiky profile, a video for another time as well, the specific needs you have maybe differ. And again, because you've been coping so far you shouldn't need additional support. Well, actually, the case would be very different. So expecting that from your immediate support network would be really, really handy. If you're looking at more formal support, there's a variety of organisations, both nationally and locally. Given the fact this is a UK video and this is about what's happening specifically, the information here is only accurate at time of recording. The first organisation you probably want to communicate with would be the National Autistic Society. They have a variety of services to try and help autistic people. It is also common for them to have sessions with third parties to try and explore your identity of what it means to be autistic now. And I'm very aware that a local organisation to us, Autism West Midlands, does provide such a session to explore what that means to an individual. Furthermore, now that you have a formal diagnosis, you can then probably access other supports that are more generic around disability. So that can be support around employment, social subscribing, a service where you're able to go to a particular hobby or group in order to try and build a community and remove some of that negative well-being effect of isolation and loneliness. There are also usually groups locally that you can attend to that have autistic specific sessions, and you can find yourself among peers that may have similar or very different experiences to you, and that can be very enlightening and helpful depending on what it is you're after. In addition to that, one of the best services I've found, particularly for employment, is access to work. In a different video you would have seen Josh explaining some of the communication difficulties I've had in the past. However, having him support me in my workplace has been crucial, particularly when you examine my inability to pick up nonverbal cues. So previously I've had individuals throw tools at me where I've upset them, but I've not been able to pick up the nonverbal communication. So a very strange job outcome of, oh, no tools thrown at James due to Josh's support. What has been more helpful, however, is when it has come to socially sensitive subjects. So while I don't have a problem talking about anything, which is an issue in itself, and probably a video for another time, when people have struggled or have had issues, they've been able to go to Josh rather than talk to me. And I've been able to present the information that's comfortable for them. Josh is then able to take that information on board and then translate it to me so that we are able to action the needs of that individual who is not necessarily comfortable talking to me about their needs in a manner I understand, because unfortunately I need direct and blunt, and usually when it comes to socially sensitive subjects they tend to be very soft and implied, which isn't helpful for me to try and action differences. But again, I understand that there is this behaviour, and this is why we have Josh to help enable that effective communication, because at the end of the day we do still want to support people. In addition to National Autistic Society, you then also have your local version of the Autistic Partnership Board. In Hereford it is the Autism Partnership Board, and it is a conglomerate of services, autistic individuals sharing and feeding into trying to shape policy and services provided by the County Council. It's worth noting that in the Autism Act, the local county council or local authority has to provide a package of services to support you. So while you now have the autistic diagnosis and trying to work out what that means, don't worry, there are people around and services around to help and support understand what that means and looks like for you specifically. I would be very interested, however, to hear about your experiences of trying to get services, and please, if you could like and subscribe, that would help us trying to make more videos to help other people. And on that note, I look forward to continuing making a difference with you. Thank you.